It's time to bring on the soup of the day.
And this soup is a true classic.
So rich, topped with a toasted bread and gooey cheese.
Oh yes, it is the ultimate in comfort food.
The ultimate, yay! So I'm Chris.
And I'm Wesley.
My ultimate Loon.
Totally.
That kind of day.
I'm ultimate.
This soup is the ultimate. I'm telling you, it is my favorite. It's so many people's
I
favorite.
can eat it day in and day out.
And I do often, so especially after I make it. So we're going to get right started. We've got a nice large Dutch oven. You're going to want a big one because we're going to fill it with a lot of onions here.
Yes.
Okay. Now I've got a stick of butter that I've heated over medium-high heat. And while that's melting, let's talk onions.
We've got a bunch of them.
We've got a lot of onions. Now that may seem like, wow, that's too many onions. It will cook down, and we're going to show you that in a moment.
Yeah.
That's 8 medium onions that we have just
peeled the outer skin off.
Well, I cut the ends off, and then I cut it right down the middle. I just peeled that outer skin off, and then just cut it into there's really no science to it, into little pieces like that. And like I said, it's just going to cut down beautifully.
Look at this. Look at our new convectioner.
We have the mothership here.
It's going to cook for us. We're not going to do anything.
Well, we'll see about that. It feels that way. Okay, so now this is almost melted. So now what go ahead and dump those in.
All right.
Now, like I said, you're going to need a pretty big pot here. I love working with my Dutch oven here. If you don't have one, just any kind of a vessel. There's a little skin in there. That's okay.
Take out
a little
the
skin on the game. Right. But you're going to want to it's got to be big enough to hold all of these onions. So these onions now are going to do what we call caramelize, and that is one of my favorite things in the world because they reduce down and those sugars from the onions come out and they start to caramelize and they just get this deep brown.
I know, and if you don't want to use it for the soup, you can put them on top of your burger.
They're great in so many ways. So anyway, just give yourself a little time when you do this because this is going to take about an hour. Stir it about every 15, 20 minutes. Oh. Is there a better smell? I don't think so.
No, not at all.
So look at these. See how these have cooked down?
Those are gorgeous.
They're just gorgeous. So this,
give me a burger. Put it right on them.
I know. They're good on so many things. So these have been going for about an hour. You need to kind of keep an eye on them. Every, say, 10, 15 minutes, just come over and give them a good stir. They're going to start to reduce down. They're going to start to really get that deep caramelized color, and that's what we want. Okay, now we're going to continue to amp up this flavor, and you see we've got some stuff that's stuck to your pan.
Stuff on there.
Yeah, it's going to stick to your pan. You may want to get like a scrubber to clean these. But we're going to help things along, and we've got a half a cup of good quality white wine that we've put in there. Mm-hmm. Now what we're going to do, what is this that I'm attempting to do here?
Deglaze.
I am deglazing my pan. And that's stuck to the bottom is just full of deliciousness.
Oh,
and that's
so
amazing.
good.
So we're going to let that come to a boil and then cook for a couple minutes let that cook off.
Right.
Now, we said that the onions are a critical part of really, really good French onion soup. There's another really critical part.
Yes, very critical.
That's the beef stock that we're going to do.
Look at this giant mammoth, wonderful, juicy deliciousness.
Yes, so that's 8 cups of mammoth delicious juiciness. So this is our homemade stock. You don't have to use homemade stock, but hey, why not?
Yeah.
So let me tell you, try to do this.
It sends this soup over the stratosphere.
I'm going to tell you in as few words as possible how we made this, okay? And you can do this well in advance, I advise that. So we got 4 pounds of good beefy bones, like Marrow beef bones are great. We put them in a roasting pan, and then we just brush some olive oil or some vegetable oil over them. Then we put them in a preheated oven for 400 degrees, and you're going to want them to roast for an hour, turning them around, like say, every 20 minutes. Take them out of the oven, and then we're going to head over to the stove, and we're going to get a stock pan. We're going to put a couple tablespoons of olive oil in there, turn it on medium heat, and we're going to add the Holy Trinity, which is chopped onion, celery, and carrot, and we're also going to add some quartered mushrooms. We're going to cook those for about 15 minutes until they get nice and soft. Then we're going to crank up that heat and brown them for about 3 minutes. Okay? With me so far?
Yep, I'm with you.
Then what we're going to do is we're going to take those roasted bones and we're going to put them in the stock pan with the veggies. Okay? Now, we've got some grease that will have rendered from that, from the bones.
Yep.
And so I'm going to turn
You want to get rid of get rid of that grease.
You're going to get rid of that grease. So what all you're going to do is you're just going to dump it to the side into a heat-proof bowl, and then we're going to scoot that the stock pan over to the side, and we're going to put the roasting pan directly on the stove. And with all of those beautiful bits that are there, those are loaded with flavor. So we're going to deglaze
it with a little vermouth.
A little vermouth. You could also use white wine, or you could even use water. Pour that in, and just you get a spatula to scrape it up, and bring it to a simmer, and let it simmer for about 5 minutes again to cook off most of that alcohol. Now we're going to pour that deliciousness into the stock pan, and we're going to add 2 tomatoes that we've had. We're going to add some parsley, some thyme, and some bay leaves. A gallon and a half of just good old water to the stock pan. Bring that to a boil. Once it's boiling, we're going to lower the heat and bring it to just a very gentle simmer. I think I've said it.
Yes.
And then here's the kicker. We're going to let that simmer for 6 to 8 hours. Yes. I told you you're going to want to do this in advance. But all you have to really do is let it simmer. To go and stir it like once every 30 minutes to an hour.
Totally.
And then what you're going to do, once it's done with that, you're going to want to strain it through a sieve or a colander into another container. Preferably let it chill overnight, because when you get it out of the refrigerator the next morning, there's going to be this nice layer of fat that will have congealed. You can just take a spoon and remove that right off of there. Pour that amazing stock into a container until you're ready to use it.
And then we're ready to use it.
That is right. We are so ready. Wow, I got that all out.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Are you ready for this?
I am ready. So you need
we're
8
go real
cups
slow.
of beef stock. Now, of course, if you don't have time to make your own beef stock, you can find good quality stock at the store. That's perfectly fine.
Just this, I can't tell you how incredible, the difference that a store-bought and a homemade.
It does make a big difference. I'm not going to lie. It does make a difference.
I'm just saying.
Now we've got a tablespoon of fresh thyme, and then we're going to do a tablespoon, this can handle the salt, a tablespoon of kosher salt, and then I'm going to do about a teaspoon of black pepper, okay? And now we are going to just bring this to a simmer.
Oh, I love it. It sings to you.
I know, it's my spaceship. We're going to bring this to a simmer, and then we're just, all you have to do now is let it simmer for about 15 minutes. We're going to toast our bread, and we're ready to go. It smells like a French bistro in here.
It's crazy. It smells so good.
It's so good. So we let this come to a simmer, and then it literally only needed to simmer about 15 minutes. Believe me, that flavor is built in. Okay.
All right.
So now,
we're going to start doling that out.
It's time to finish things
Look at these cute little French onion bowls that we have.
I know.
I don't know if they're French onion. I call them a French onion.
I think they are. I'm going to give you a link to those bowls because they're the perfect size.
They're so perfect.
So now what we're going to do is we're just going to ladle these in.
Yes. There you go.
We're going to fill them up.
Fill them up to the brim.
So,
look at that just dark, delicious broth.
Onions, I know, it's amazing. I'm going to bring this one.
Look at that. All right. Here, put just a little more on that one, Chris. Okay. We want to get it a little higher. There, perfect. And now we have these crusty pieces of bread. Toasted pieces of bread. And we just took a French baguette, cut it in these pieces, and put a little olive oil, brushed a little olive oil on it, toasted them till they're nice and toasty, and we're just going to put them right there.
And you just set them on top.
I love that.
They're going to, perfect.
Yep.
Now, the topper twister is, of course, the cheese.
The cheese! Look at how cute that is, y'all.
Traditional on top of French onion soup. Most French bistros, wherever you're going to see, is Gruyere. Gruyere is found, and you can find in most well-stocked supermarkets. Usually comes in a block. I just use my food processor to grate it. You can also grate it on the side of a box grater. You can also do slices. Some people do sliced Gruyere on top of it, but it's really, really good. Gruyere just has that incredible. It's a good melting cheese.
And I like it to get on the sides.
Yeah. If you can't find Gruyere, you can use Swiss cheese. Is good. Fontina cheese is really good. I wouldn't recommend the temptation to use mozzarella cheese. It's not pizza, but
Chris, I'm getting cheese everywhere.
I know.
You're not helping.
I know.
Okay. But I didn't want to get it all over the. I wanted to see the bread.
Okay, that's good. You will.
All right.
It'll melt. You want it nice and cheesy. Okay, so now all we're gonna do is just stick this under the broiler for just a couple of minutes. You know your broiler. You got to keep an eye on it. You've gotten this far. You don't want to burn it.
Right.
So we're gonna stick it under just long enough to melt that cheese and get it good and bubbly.
Yes.
And now it's ready.
Yay! Watch that broiler, people.
I know. This is just.
I got it.
I mean, it's my favorite. It's beyond soup in my mind. Wow. Okay, I'm bringing this over to you, Loon.
Please do.
All right.
Please do. Oh.
Or adjust.
I hope y'all can see this
I know.
momentous occasion. Look
So-
at that. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. I'm just going in for it.
Good.
Look at that.
Of course, now at this point in time, it's molten lava.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go ahead and go in for it.
Here, hold on. I just want to kind of do some. Look at that. Oh, just a little cheese.
It's just
Just a little
amazing.
cheese.
And that bread gets kind of soft.
Oh, you guys. I'm gonna blow the.
Let's blow first. If we are silent for a few minutes, it's because we're in loving it, but we're also in pain.
All right.
Here we go.
I have to control myself from picking this up and
Drinking it. It is just, you guys, this is the real deal. You have to make this. Oh, I love it. I mean,
That broth. That broth.
I know.
You guys. This is 10,000% Loon approved.
10,000! Oh my
It's
God.
so hot.
It's so hot in so many right ways.
But it's so good.
Oh my God. There's something about those ingredients. There's not a lot of them, and they just come together to make something magical.
I just want to get in there and get
I know. We're gonna let him get in there, so you can go make French onion soup. Make the beef stock. It's so much fun.
Oh,
Bye,
it's
everybody.
delicious, guys.
We love you so much.
Stay warm. It's winter time.
Make soup.